Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, boy, it must suck being a Spurs fan. It really must. It must be such a hard life. Like, to think, us, like me, being a Chelsea fan, it's been a tumultuous season, but we know things will always turn around. It always does. We've got that winning DNA, we've got the ambition, we've got the characteristics. The fans definitely demand a lot more. But Spurs, I mean, every season, the best they can ever think of is just a top four finish. They did try their level best to win trophies, and it went south. It went sideways massively. Antonio Conte, if you can't win a trophy with Antonio Conte or Jose Mourinho prior to Antonio Conte, I mean, what hope do you have? What hope do you really have? Antonio Conte, I mean, he absolutely obliterated this particular football club before he was sacked. And it looks like it may all be dismantled. Particular individual there, what's his name? There we go, Fabio Paratici. I believe he's sort of like their sporting director, maybe. He's about to leave as well. Everything they sort of, you know, put together for Antonio Conte, it's been dismantled. It's been dismantled. So where do they go from here? What do you do? Honest question. I mean, banter aside, obviously we can laugh here all day long about Spurs and what a bottle job they are, but it's crazy. It's crazy. They've got a quality team. Yes, there are certain players that need to be moved on in defense and probably in midfield, but overall, it's a quality team. I think them as an institution need to rethink. I feel like they've got a particular owner in Levi, Daniel Levi, Daniel Levy, however you want to pronounce it. I think it's the chairman. Enoch is the owner. They're just happy to make top four. They're just happy to do that. They're not really interested in anything else. For a second, they thought maybe they can, sniff. They're in the sniff to get a trophy with the quality of players that they have. Harry Kane, Son, Hugo Lloris in goalkeeping position. Yes, he's made blunders, but at the end of the day, he's a good goalkeeper overall. In defense, they've got Romero. Midfield, they've got Højbjerg. Overall, has been okay. They've brought in some really, really good players in the likes of Kulusevski, Bentancur, who got injured. Basuma, injured now. Now they've got Pedro Porro in the wing-back position. So they thought maybe they just have a sniff of a chance to win something. It just didn't work out. And it's not going to work out. You can't be half-hearted. You can't just bring in quality managers in the likes of Jose Mourinho and Antonio Conte and just be half-hearted about the situation. You have to invest in order to roll with the big dogs, in order to roll with your Man Cities, the Liverpools, Chelsea, Man United. You can't keep buying secondary players. This is a tough league, man. This is a tough league, but it seems like all throughout the setup of Spurs were, they were a team that was outside of top four for a very long period of time. And then only recently, I think when Pochettino sort of came in, before Pochettino, Spurs were a shambles as well. I still remember, Juan de Ramos days and many of the other managers they had before Pochettino, there was a particular stage they were in the relegation zone in the first 10 matches. It's when Poch came in, he changed the mindset of that football club where kind of made them believe that they can make top four. And that in itself was good enough for that fan base because that's something that they didn't experience previously. And then Poch kind of made them a team. Poch made them into a team that was regularly competing for top four. And for Daniel Levy and the owners over there, Enoch, they were happy with that. They've got a big stadium. They're getting a lot of money through match day sales. They were, going into Champions League. So there's that Champions League money. More matches, obviously, with the Champions League. So more match day revenue. And they were able to attract semi-decent players to their teams, right? And they thought they could take the next leap to start winning trophies. It just didn't happen. It didn't happen. So what now for them? Go back to the situation where just keep making top four. I think this is what they're trying to do now. Now that Conte is gone, the assistant coach has got in. And I think his name is Stellini or something like that. And they're trying their level best to make top four. And I guess this is what the fans will have to accept for the time being. They're getting rumoured with Nagelsmann. And you know what? Look, Spurs, they just need to rethink and restart again. They really do. As I said, they've tried their level best to win trophies instantly, and it didn't happen. They've got to start from the ethos. What is the ethos of the football club? If it's just to make top four, then okay. Get yourself a semi-decent manager. Poch's name is getting thrown out there. He'll probably, ensure Spurs are consistently fighting for top four. But if it's more than that, if it's gradual progression into winning stuff down the track, they'll probably have to go through the Arsenal route. They really do. They need to scrap everything that they know, and they need to go through the Arsenal route. Back a particular manager, try and develop with youngsters, see if you can bring in any of the academy players, see if you can get another gem like Harry Kane, and go again. Because Harry Kane, I would really find it odd if Harry Kane stuck around after all of this shenanigans. Harry Kane, I'm sure he doesn't want to go down as a particular player only known for his goals. You want to put some trophies around him, my man. And once Harry Kane does leave, and if he does leave, what then for Spurs? What's Son without Harry Kane? What's Kulusevski without Harry Kane? What's any of the players without Harry Kane? A large part of who those players are is because of Harry Kane. This particular football club need to reassess massively. Scrap everything. Forget about winning trophies for the time being. I'd even say forget about even top four. Just start from the bottom. Project. You may get top four this season. Fantastic. Kudos to you if you do get that. But you may not. Newcastle's hot on the heels. Liverpool trying as well. I'm sure Spurs will do their level best. But what next, though? You get Champions League, then what? You're never going to be able to attract the caliber of players that you need to compete. You're just going to make it to Champions League, somehow get past the group stage, get knocked out in the second, in the round of 16. Is that the cycle that their fans, is that what they're okay with? Can you imagine if that ever happens to Chelsea Football Club? My God. Where success is just top four, and success is just making it to the Champions League. And if you can get out of the group stage, kudos. Anything beyond that is just a bonus. I can never imagine a life like that. That's madness. And this is what I'm saying. Like, it's mad. Spurs fans, they must have been so elated when they made it to the Champions League final a few seasons back. Because that sort of stuff just never happens for them. And they made it to the Carabao Cup final and they, sacked Jose Mourinho. They probably would have had a lot more chance with Jose in. And now they're getting linked with Nagelsmann. I mean, what are you trying to do with Nagelsmann? What's your end game with Nagelsmann? Nagelsmann has won stuff at Bayern Munich. He's a high caliber manager. What's the point of bringing him in and just feeding him with secondary players, man? What is your plan? What is your long-term game? It can't just be, I'll just try my level best to make it to top four. That's it. Someone like Nagelsmann, I'd like to think he's a lot more ambitious than that. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's check out some of the stuff that's been going around on social media. The Spurs Express has tweeted this. Antonio Conte via Fabrizio Romano. Football is a passion. I thank everyone at Spurs who appreciated and shared my passion. Special thoughts to fans who always showed me support and appreciation. Unforgettable to hear them singing my name. I wish you all the best for the future. Antonio Conte bounced quickly and absolutely obliterated that particular football club, publicly shaming and naming them in front of millions to watch in his last post-match press conference. His brother has also left as well. I think his brother was the analyst for the Spurs team. He's left. It's becoming increasingly likely that Fabio Paratici will leave Tottenham at the end of the season. So he's going. This is from Al Law. He's in trouble from Juventus days. He could potentially face criminal charges. Hearing has been postponed, I believe. Antonio Conte's training regime had players on their knees. He often had them run 2 kilometers before matches. Players wouldn't dare moan in his earshot, but privately they were baffled. See, that's the other thing. Even the players, that whole club needs to have a total mindset change. Even the players, they think they're bigger than the club. They look at the particular club as a stepping stone to something bigger. And when you have that type of a mentality, you can't win stuff, man. You cannot win anything. Players complaining they had to run 2 kilometers before matches. Oh, no. Antonio Conte's training regime had players on their knees. This is the same manager that Chelsea Football Club won a Premier League with and an FA Cup as well. This particular manager has won it everywhere. Juventus, Inter Milan. And these guys are complaining. Their mindset needs to change from top to bottom. From the owners to the fans to the players to everyone, to the manager, everyone. It's understood that Daniel Levy will insist on staying at Tottenham in the event of any future sale. He's in it for the long haul. This is something I suppose Spurs fans could be somewhat pushing down the track. So there's a lot of buyers out there these days, American buyers and Arab buyers. I think their best shot is if they can get a sale of the football club, give it to a particular owner that probably, cares, wants to compete. That's their best shot. But this guy apparently doesn't want to let go. Does not want to let go. Ernst Tanner Nagelsmann is close friend. Ernst Tanner Nagelsmann's close friend. Real Madrid will certainly be an option for Julian, but in terms of his languages and interest, I see Premier League rather as the next and logical step. Chelsea's linked with him as well now. And of course, Spurs are linked with him. Apparently he's a Spurs fan or he owns a Spurs jersey. I would find it very strange if he goes there, unless he knows that there's a proper project that's going to happen with hook or crook. Even if the results go south like the way it did for us at Chelsea Football Club, that they won't get rid of Nagelsmann. It's not the same. They will stick around and they'll see it through until it actually changes, just the way it did for Arsenal Football Club with Arteta. Nagelsmann is a proper coach, proper tactician. If you get someone like him, you don't want to be chopping and changing, and you want to be giving him as much tools as possible. Daniel Levy has already started trying to determine the chances of successfully enticing Nagelsmann to Tottenham, and there is some hope that German is ready to listen to what Spurs have to offer. Of course, it all comes down to money. I think it was about 6-7 million euros at Bayern Munich. If it's more than that at Spurs, which I think Spurs can afford, then, someone like Nagelsmann could choose that, unless there is genuine interest from Chelsea Football Club. Tottenham are definitely interested in Nagelsmann. There are already been a casual request, but no concrete talks or negotiations. It's unlikely that he will replace Conte immediately. He wants to take his time. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think about the Spurs situation right now. They've tried it all. And they've failed miserably every single time. What now for them? Go back to the whole just chase top 4 and just get battered in the Champions League? Or just scrap everything and start from the bottom, just like the way Arsenal Football Club kind of had to do? They just had to scrap everything and just back everything on Arteta, regardless of how the results went, and stick it through, hoping and believing that it will turn around. And now Arteta's in a situation where potentially Arsenal's going to win the league, not the Champions League, win the Premier League. That will be in the Champions League next season. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts on Spurs. Banter Cup for sure. They're a club that keeps on giving, but it's interesting as well what's going to happen. What will take place there? Which direction do they go to? Big 6 club. Let's see if they can maintain that status. Hope you've enjoyed this. Smash up the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all the content from Miz TV Total Football. I'm thinking about doing something about Barcelona next up. Messi. A lot of rumors that he might come back. So yeah, might have to do that. Till next time, everyone. Take care. See ya.